Hey, welcome back. As I'm recording and editing this video on August 6, 2025, we're already starting to think about the fall season. And if you've been watching my channel, you know by now, the so-called US summer season didn't go the way they hoped. I almost wished I had kept a running list of all the tourism officials and business owners who said the summer will save us. It didn't. Why not? Well, it's pretty obvious right now. Many of us, including myself, just aren't giving the US a single dollar right now. But this first report today, sent by one of our viewers on Blue Sky, showed that even if you wanted to go visit the US, you might not even make it that far. Because in this case, someone didn't just get stopped at the airport. They didn't even get to board the plane. Let's get into it.
Mikel Reparaz, an editor for EITB News, says it's something him and his team see important to be at.
It's a must for us to be here, to cover, to interview Basque Americans, especially in Idaho, because it's one of the strongholds of the Basque community, right?
8 journalists from EITB News are here to cover the events this year, but the 9th member on their team wasn't able to make it.
It is a good place, right, to meet our brothers and sisters overseas, so that since I am Basque, I'm journalist, well, I'm interested on it, or my interest on it is both personal and professional, of course.
Radio journalist with EITB News, Urtzi Garcia, was looking forward to covering Jaialdi since it's been 30 years since he's attended it for fun.
So he was flying to the US to attend a Basque festival. 8 of his colleagues made it through just fine, but he didn't. Now, when I hear that, 2 things come to my mind. First, he may have a past record that flagged him with something. I don't know, criminal record or something, overstaying, I don't know. Or second, CBP looked into him and decided, for whatever reason, just to say no. It clearly wasn't the event itself. They were all flying in together from the radio show for the cultural celebration. If that was an issue, all 9 of them would have been stopped. So why him specifically? Why was he the only one denied?
It was so great, unforgettable.
This time around, he won't get the chance to be here.
My wife and me were in Munich, ready to get on the plane, when suddenly I heard my name from the loudspeakers. I went to the boarding gate.
He says he gave them his passport, and the attendants at the gate told him he was denied access to enter the United States and wasn't allowed on the plane.
As you can imagine, me and my wife were like surprised, petrified. It was like, wow, why? What happened? We don't understand.
He says a month before the trip, he had gone to the U.S. Embassy in Madrid, interviewed, applied, and was approved for a journalist visa.
And the only explanation they gave me was that the day before, on Friday, they received a call from USA not to allow me to get on the plane.
So imagine this. You go through all the proper steps to get the visa as a journalist. You get approved, you make it all the way to the airport, and you're literally at the gate waiting to board your flight. And then you get denied. Now, the silver lining here that I see, it happened in Munich, not on US soil. Because we know the reality. If this happened after he landed in the US, we might not have heard from him in a few days. But this just proves something important. Even if you follow every rule, every process, you're still rolling the dice when it comes to getting into the US. Let's keep going.
The only choice he had was to return back to the Basque Country.
Yeah, it was pretty hard because I spent all day there, but we realized that there wasn't nothing to do.
With proper approvals to travel and no criminal record, Urtzi says it has to be a mistake.
You know, I'm a journalist. I mean, I work for for the Basque Public Radio. It's an official network. So I think I deserve an answer.
While the rest of his team is in Boise, they're wishing Urtzi was with them.
That's very sad for us. It's work, and it's important for him as a journalist, I guess, but it's a great experience as well to come here and to get to know this beautiful state.
Okay, so I could understand if he had a criminal record, or maybe something in his past that flagged his profile. But that's not the case here. His documents were in order, his visa got approved, no criminal record. So it doesn't make any sense. Let's see what these reporters have to say about this now.
Urtzi's wife was able to get on the plane. She will be here to experience Jaialdi. For Urtzi, he's still waiting for answers from the U.S. Embassy. He's reached out for further details about why he was denied, but has been left not knowing the answer. It really remains unclear, Brian. I reached out to Homeland Security here in Idaho, maybe to hear what some of those reasons are that could be possible for denial.
Reason, right.
You know, maybe they couldn't speak to Urtzi specifically,
Sure.
but could give us an idea. Haven't heard back from them, so.
Yeah, Not really surprised you haven't heard back from Homeland Security. And to be honest, I don't think she ever will. Unfortunately, this guy's probably never going to get the real answer about why he was denied. And now, if he ever wants to go visit the US again, he's going to be stuck wondering if it'll happen all over again. Roll the dice, hope for the best, and let fate decide your travel plans. I guess that's how it's going to be moving forward.
Unclear.
I hate to speculate, but does he have any idea what this could be? We were talking about this. Could it be something, because right now the administration looking at things that people post on social media.
Yeah, I asked him that. He was affiliated with a political coalition years ago. He was a media communications person for that coalition.
As a job?
As a job. He hasn't used social media in years. It's been several years. He doesn't think this could be the case, but like you said, a change in administration, more people looking at social media posts before accepting travel details. It's possible, but remains unclear.
Well, hopefully he gets an answer, because this is, to have it not be explained to him, that's tough. All right. Thank you very much, Aspen.
The fact that social media activity is now being used as a factor when trying to enter the US, that's mind-blowing to me. How many of you have WhatsApp chats or groups filled with memes or jokes about the president, the vice president, or anything that pokes fun at the current administration? My phone is full of that stuff. And if CBP ever went through it, I'd be in some serious trouble. And that's not even counting the fact that I run this channel. I've been very clear. I'm not afraid to call out Donald Trump for what he is. This is exactly why I've chosen never to reveal my identity. And this is why I've made a personal vow to never willingly step foot in the US again. But I get it. Many of us still have friends and family across the border, including myself. And if something were to happen and I need to go for an emergency, I don't want CBP connecting the dots and realizing I'm the creator of Guard the Leaf. Because the reality is, we know CBP screens people. And we know they're likely flagging anybody who speaks out publicly against the Trump administration and his policies. So the last thing I want is to be pulled aside and asked, so, you run Guard the Leaf, and you think my president is an idiot? I've said this before in many of my other videos, but this is for our new viewers. This is why I stay anonymous, and I always will. It does make me a bit sad that I won't be able to visit my friends and family at their homes in the US. But hey, they're always welcome to come up here to Canada. And that includes Josh. I hope one day we can grab a beer together, but it looks like he's gonna have to cross the border and come to us instead. We have better beer anyways. And don't worry, Josh. I'll make sure your favorite band is playing in the background whenever we meet up. And in this guy's case, getting denied even before boarding the plane just proves it. Anything is possible now. Like I said, the silver lining for him is that he was in Munich. All right, moving on. A lot of you have sent me a podcast clip featuring Mary Trump, and I'm glad you did. Now, I'm sure most of you already know who she is, but if you don't, she's Donald Trump's niece, and probably the only sane one in the entire family. Normally when I feature a clip, I play it through so I can point out what's being downplayed or twisted around. But in Mary's video, I pretty much agree with everything that she says. So I'm going to show you a few parts of her video, and I really want you to pay attention to the details she brings up, because you won't hear this kind of honesty from CBS, NBC, ABC, and definitely not Fox. So let's take a listen.
You know things are bad when your heretofore best friends and closest allies start boycotting you. That is how toxic the relationship between Canada and America has become, thanks entirely to Donald's failed leadership. Our neighbors to the north are willing to give up their favorite summer traditions just to send a message to us. They are sick of the bullying and they won't put up with it. And the numbers back it up. According to Forbes, the United States is on track to lose $29 billion in tourism revenue this year because of Donald's policies. And the World Travel and Tourism Council says we'll be the only country to see a drop in international spending. I'm not entirely sure how that squares with putting America first, but, what do I know? I'm not a Nazi. Of course, blue states are not the only states being hurt by all of this. Donald's own followers are starting to pay the price too. In 2 states that voted for Donald, Nevada and Florida, tourism is cratering. Thanks to Donald's policies and the state of the economy in general, Americans are spending less on travel, entertainment, and other non-essentials. Nowhere is that more obvious than Las Vegas, where the tourism drop-off is steep.
Now, if you haven't seen my latest video on Las Vegas, I went over a clip from another YouTuber named Dan vs. World. This video was more useful than every other major US news report combined. Why? Because he actually showed what's happening on the ground. And he talked to real people who rely completely on tourism, not just the numbers on the screen. Even better, His footage had real timestamps. Saturday night, July 26 into Sunday morning, the busiest time of the week in Las Vegas. So no room for excuses for people saying, oh, you filmed it at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, or during off-peak. There was real proof that it was there on July 26. After watching that, I knew the media wasn't being honest. Vegas is doing worse than they're willing to admit. And Mary Trump, she's right. Dan's video proves it. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on my channel. Check it out when you're done here.
This is not just Vegas. Again, one of Donald's favorite places, Florida, his new home, where many of his most loyal supporters, sycophants, and followers live, is also hurting. Florida is already seeing fewer Canadian visitors, in large part due to Donald's anti-immigration policies and Florida's willingness to follow the Trump regime's lead. Visit Lauderdale CEO Stacey Ritter says Canadian tourism is down about 20% in the Fort Lauderdale area. Considering the Canadians account for 28% of Florida's international tourism, that is a potentially devastating drop-off. And according to the Tallahassee Democrat, the outlook is not improving. Bookings 6 to 12 months out are also slowing. So, for a man who claims to be lowering costs and reviving American businesses, the numbers, the data, and the states that backed him are telling a very, very different story.
All right, I'm going to stop it here. But if you want to watch Mary Trump's full podcast, I'll leave a link in the description below. And I do highly recommend that you subscribe to her as well. I honestly love to speak to her one day, and in fact, I actually sent her an email, hoping to share the Canadian side of things. I have no idea if she'll reply, but if she does, you can count on me to make sure that our voices are heard. So to recap today's video, if you're planning to go to the United States for any reason, just know this: even if your paperwork is approved, your visa is valid, and everything seems to be in order, you can still be denied entry. No reason given, no explanation, just no. That's the new reality we're living in 2025. So if you're going, just be ready to roll the dice, and I hope it lands in your favor. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to help share this message with more people, and share it with others who might need to hear the message as well. And if you're still here, check out the other videos that are showing up on your screen now, only if you want to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.